Hey, it's Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today, and I am here to share with you a large photo layout. This is the layout. So it is literally a 12 by 12 photo, and I have scrapped all down the left side of it. So I have printed this myself at home on my new Canon Pixma printer. I am all about this printer. Not only did I print this on the printer, but I have printed out 3 by 4 pocket cards. I have printed out the label stickers that I'm about to use. They're actually not label. They are, um, it's using clear sticker paper, and you can basically not see that it is clear. It's real, well, you cannot see that it is a sticker. It almost looks like it's printed directly on it. So I used digital stamps from Everyday Explorers to create my own stickers so that I don't have to stamp them. And it was much cheaper to buy the digital. Um, so yeah, that spring, so I created it's a traveler's notebook 3 by 8 pocket card that I actually shrunk down. I printed that with the printer. So lots of make your own embellishments. This is very much a hybrid layout. So I know I want a cascade of elements down the left-hand side to counteract my sun, the weight of my sun over there on the right-hand side. And I want to ground them. And so in order to ground them, I just used a piece of scrap paper. It's actually some really, really old scenic route in the maroon, because he is wearing a maroon shirt, and that is going to ground the top and the bottom of the layout. And I am sorry that you cannot see the bottom of the layout currently, but really all you're missing is about a ½ inch with that grounding maroon strip. So same on top and bottom. So that spring card, it says spring, and then it's a bunch of check boxes. So you could say days, adventures, vacation, camp, or memories. And obviously I'm going to put spring vacation because it's spring break. And it is actually a 3 by 8 card. I shrunk it, and it also had summer there. That was from In a Creative Bubble. And I took out summer and used my own font and put in spring. It gave me the perfect place to be able to journal. And then these embellishments are from Crate Paper, the Here and Now collection. And so what I'm using as my colors here is I'm basically using maroon, craft, that rose gold, and the yellow. So the maroon and the yellow come from my son's clothing. He has yellow in his socks. It's really hard to tell, but I liked that it was a pop of color. And then the craft, obviously, are the rocks. So we are at Devil's Golf Course in Death Valley. It was our last day before coming home on spring break, and this was just amazing rocks. It's actually a salt flat, but it's the salt flat that has been pushed up. And so all of the rocks, they're super sharp rocks. It's kind of like worse than walking on lava. It's like walking on lava, because it's all covered in sharp salt crystals. And so that is where we are. It's just absolutely amazing. You have 360-degree views around you. You drive a mile out on a gravel path. You do not need an SUV for that. You literally get out of the car and there are the salt flats. It's absolutely amazing. So, like I said, literally a cascade of elements. These are just things I am majorly stash busting here, things that I have pulled from my scraps, from my stash, and just going to town with some hybrid sort of digital elements here. So I want another round element. I've got the round in the camera, I've got the round of the flare, and then I have the round of that north-south, the compass east-west, and I feel like I need something else that's round, and I also feel like I need something else that's yellow. So I'm using a Everyday Explorers Company stamp, an actual stamp itself, and it says blank hours on the road and counting. So we had not planned on going here. And so I wanted to take note of the number of hours that we spent on the road. It was 2 hours each way. That was also another Everyday Explorer stamp, and it says this road trip was, and then it's like a 0 to 10 sort of scale, and you color in 0 was disappointing and 10 is worth it. And it was so worth the trip. We sat in the car for 4 hours, 2 out to Death Valley and 2 hours back. But we realized that's literally the only way you would get to Death Valley, is to sit in the car and make the trip to do it. And so we moved up our timeline a little bit, and we went to another park in Nevada early so that we could do this. And truly, it was so worth it. If you ever have the chance to go to Death Valley, I highly recommend it. And you will hear me say that again because I have more layouts to do. The landscape is absolutely stunning. The heat is something else as well. It was 100 degrees on the day that we were there. We were expecting 92, and those 8 degrees make a huge difference, especially when you're at the top of the scale. And I know it gets a whole lot hotter, but I just don't understand why people would go out there in spring. So I have committed to sort of this haphazard cascade, and I like it because the haphazard cascade it mimics the haphazardness of the rocks, the salt and the rocks, and it's perfect. It just fills in that space there, and it is a nice mix of color, and it allows me. It's just fun, kind of like what we were doing. We were having fun. I had some other elements there that I was hoping to tie in. You can see that I had those labels there from Teresa Collins. I had some other gold elements, and I decided not to go with those because those were gold instead of the rose gold, and I didn't want to throw in a different type of gold. So I use my Thermoweb Zots to adhere flare down, and I always take the backing off. I think they stand up high enough as it is, and so I don't like them standing up any higher. This label that I am pulling down, I am actually going to relocate. You'll actually see me pull it off in favor of another sticker that I want, but I am going to, off camera, put it back in. So it's going to go to above Epic and to the right of that craft tag that is there. And I'm going to use some of my epoxy. They're sort of like those greater than arrows that lead into the title. And you'll see what I mean as I work on the title. There's this empty space that's kind of stuck between the camera and the Epic and the spring card there and the title, and so that fills in that space perfectly and closes that off. So this is a saying sticker. It says, I may not be where I intended to go, but I think I have ended up where I needed to be, by Douglas Adams. So that is from that Teresa Collins sticker sheet there, and I had wanted to use more, but that is all I end up using. And I go with that phrase because we actually had not intended to go out to Death Valley, but it was so worth the trip. It was worth it. That other sticker there is from October Afternoon, so I have somewhat organized all of my embellishments, and I now have all of my labels together, and rediscovered my Jilly Bean and October Afternoon, and oh, what was the third company? Jilly Bean and October Afternoon label stickers, and so you will see probably much more of those in the future there. And then so that other sticker that I put into that space that I took that pink label out, it says stop, I need a picture, because every 5 minutes when we're on road trips, Mom says, stop, I need a picture, and we have to recreate the scene, and yes, I'm sure they're happy to be moving on from that. So these are really old Simple Stories stickers from when I designed for Simple Stories way, 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 way back when. But they are still super sticky and super great for title work or subtitles. And I'm literally just going to be very boring and label it Devil's Golf Course because that is where we were. So I had wanted it to go all the way across, but then I left a gap. And so that is why I'm going to go with moving it to 2 lines there. And you know me, if you follow my work, I can never get titles on straight, and it's not perfectly straight, but it's the closest it's going to be. So I will speed up course, and you get the whole idea of how I'm going to stick these onto the ruler so that I can try and get them down straight. So there's that space that I'm referring to. I could have put course into the left, but I didn't, because then it felt like everything was too jammed up. And so this pulled that maroon out closer to Nicholas, to my son, and between the the header and the footer on the column, the title and his shirt, it created a nice visual triangle, that guided your eye around the page there. So where that space is between the card and course is where I talk about putting that label sticker there. So these are from Pink Paisley. These are some from Paige Evans, one of her multiple collections, and they're just little epoxy shapes, and I'm going to put in some hearts. And in the center of the camera, I'm going to put in one of those pink sort of asterisk looking things, which is also what I'm going to use to mark vacation in the checkoff box. And then I will also go in and put some jute into those tags. There's two tags there. One is going to get yellow jute, again, just for a little bit more yellow, and the other is going to get black, just to sort of add a little bit more color to that. And it adds some movement and some texture to the page, the jute as well. So I, in my 12 by 12 layouts, I really like that cascading effect. So these are the Everyday Explorers stickers that I'm talking about. They're actually digital stamps that I printed on clear sticker paper. I will link you to the sticker paper down below. I absolutely love it. You can use it for journaling and put your journaling. So if you don't have a 12 by 12 printer, you could put your journaling directly through the sticker paper. It's letter size, or I bought letter size, and you can cut it down to different sizes. And then you could put your journaling directly on if you're more of a type journaler instead of a handwritten journaler. So that is going to wrap up my 12 by 12 layout. I absolutely love it. Look for more to come, because you know I've got this printer now and I can print from home and have the print quality that I absolutely love. So here's the full layout again. Enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.